Hi friends, welcome to chair yoga today, and it's just what it sounds like. Our poses will be done either seated in a chair or standing. So there won't be any up and down. In fact, you really don't even need a yoga mat for this flow. What you do need is a chair that's sturdy and it's not going to move out from underneath you, so nothing on wheels or anything like that. And then we need a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, so a couple things that you can substitute are a bathrobe strap, an old tie, or even a towel. We just want something that will help us access some stretches near the end of this. So round up all your stuff, grab some water, and meet me in your chair. Let's start our yoga sequence today seated in our chair. So come to a seated position in your chair. Move your muscles out of the way so that you own your sitting bones. We want the pelvis to feel grounded right there, and when we do that, we can sit up taller a little bit easier. Bring your shoulders down and back and rest your hands right there on your thighs. Good. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's do that a couple more times at our own pace. Closing the eyes on an exhale. And we're just settling down from the day that we've had. And taking the time to actually notice how you're doing today. So we want to notice how the body feels, our energy level, our stress level, how we're getting along, anything that gives us information that will help us take really good care of ourselves while we practice yoga today. And then even when we're done, into the rest of your day, helping us be aware of how we're doing so that we can take care of ourselves. And then let's start to lengthen our breath, matching the inhale to the exhale. Letting a gentle pace develop. We don't want to rush the breath. We want to feel refreshed after deep breathing, not huffing and puffing like we're out of breath. And then on top of that even, steady breath, let's start to inhale in a way where we're filling the lungs from bottom to top. If it helps, we can think of this in three parts. We can think of breathing in at the belly area, and then up to the ribs, and then up to the chest, and then exhaling gently. So this steady breath, this full breath, this is what we want to do the whole time we're practicing yoga today. And if you'd like an intention or an uplifting thought today, I'm going to read you a quote. Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. So taking a second to acknowledge some of the good in your life. A couple things you're grateful for. And on the next exhale, let's bring hands to prayer position in front of the heart. Just holding on to that thought just a little bit longer, acknowledging all the abundance in your life, all the good things in your life. Maybe grateful for some of the good things in your day. But acknowledging these things, big and small. On the next exhale, let's open the eyes. And we'll come to rest our hands on the thighs again. We'll start with a little bit of mobility work today. At the shoulders, we've got a couple options. We can simply roll the shoulders back a few times. If you'd like a little more, then we can touch the shoulder tops and make circles with the elbows. Just two different versions. You got to listen to your own shoulder joints and what feels good for them. We want this to feel nice. In fact, pretty much everything we do, we want it to improve our day and improve our body, not cause strain or pain. So let's reverse the direction, go the other way with it. Whether you have fingertips at the shoulder tops or not, just going the other way with it. And then relaxing hands down, doing the same for the wrists. We still have that steady breath. Let's go the other way with the wrists. Good. Let's relax the palms to the knees again. So we're seated up on the chair. We're not against the backrest. We're up tall. So make sure you're scooted forward a little bit, shoulders down and back, hands resting. Seated cat and cow, working with spinal extension and spinal flexion. We want this to feel really nice. On an inhale, let's lift up through the heart for seated cow. On an exhale, let's round the spine for seated cat. Inhale, come back to seated cow, lengthening. Exhale, rounding, seated cat. Start to move with your breath at your own pace. And we're listening to how this feels. We're not forcing any pose. And with something like this, we're highly aware of the spine and how it feels. So let your range of motion increase gradually and naturally. On your next inhale, if you'd like to switch it up a little bit, we can think of bringing the heart forward. So instead of lifting up, we're just bringing it forward. That's a version of seated cow that we're doing. And on the exhale, seated cat, we're taking our shoulder blades toward the back of the chair. So inhale, bring your heart forward. Exhale, seated cat, taking the back toward the back of the chair. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. And then we're going to take this forward motion. We're going to think of our rib cage, sending it around in a circle. So let's go one way with it. And let's circle around to the back and have that cat stretch. And let's go to the other side and come forward. Let's do that one more time. Take it to the side, round in seated cat, to the other side, and lift. Let's reverse the direction. Go the other way. And again, we're taking the rib cage around in a circle, but we're still having that cat and cow motion in the spine. When we get to neutral, let's exhale and rest. Good. So on the next inhale, let's hug a knee toward the chest. Exhale, take it down. And do the other side. We're just alternating, moving with our breath. We're trying to keep the spine as tall as we can while adding in these hip hugs. And what we're trying to do is work on our range of motion at our hips. So notice, be mindful about it. Is it starting to feel better as you move through these hugs? That's what we hope for, increasing our hip mobility. Now let's add to this. Let's bring up a knee and let's circle it around and put it back down. Bring up the other knee, circle it around and take it down. So we're just essentially building on that hip mobility work that we're doing. We're paying attention to how it feels. We want it to feel nice. Working on mobility. Let's make sure we're still breathing. And maybe have one more per side. Resting, having a breath. We can pause and come back to that intention, acknowledging the good in your life. Maybe grateful for the health to be able to do this sequence today at all. On the next inhale, let's sit tall and come to a standing place, mountain pose. We want feet right under our hips. We want feet parallel to each other, and we want to brace the core. So we're actively pulling in the core. It's like you're zipping up tight pants. We stand tall, palms forward. We can hold on to this pose as long as we want to because it's strong. We're rooting down at the feet, standing tall through the body. Or if we want a little more movement today, we'll add in chair pose. So you stay where you are. I'm going to move this way so you can see my alignment better. On an exhale, let's send the hips down and back, reaching the palms forward. So inhale, we rise, mountain pose. Exhale, chair pose. So it's a squat. Let's start to move with our breath. Move at your own pace. And we want to be aware of the spine and keep the alignment. So we're trying not to round in the spine. We're trying not to arch at the low back. We're trying to keep the spine as neutral as possible. And then we send the hips down and back. And we can come down as little or as much as we want to in this chair pose. Moving with our breath, getting some work in the legs and the core. Don't forget the core. Keep that ab area engaged. Let's have about 3 more. Just moving with your breath. Deep breathing. And then resting. We're going to add to that. That's kind of what we're doing today. We're taking a lot of different things and just kind of adding to them as we go. So if you'd like to add to this today, we'll step out wide. Toes aim out naturally. We'll do the same thing. It's the same technique. We send the hips down and back, and we have a squat. We just now have a wide-legged squat, a plie squat. So we want to be aware of the spine still, that we're keeping the spine long and tall and supported, abs engaged the whole time. And we're moving gently, sending the hips down and back. Now, if it would be better for you to have a little bit more stability in this, you keep moving if you're in a good place. You can always come to the back of your chair to have a little bit extra balance. So use this chair. That's why I said you need a sturdy chair. You don't want one that's going to roll around, but use it anytime you need a little balancing help. Otherwise, let's just have about 2 more. And we're done. Let's come up to a standing place. Palms resting together. Walk your feet together. And then come back to your chair and have a seat. We're still kind of towards the front of the seat. We're not using the backrest. We want to be on those hip bones again, and we want to sit up tall. Shoulder blades pull down the back, engaging your core gently. Awesome. So let's bring hands to prayer pose. Working in some twists now. Spinal mobility. Let's have a deep breath in. And as we exhale, let's twist to the left. And as we inhale, let's come back to neutral, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twist to the right. We're moving with our breath. We come back to neutral on an inhale. We exhale, twisting. Let's be mindful of how we twist. Let's think of twisting from the belly area up only. So not letting our hips and our knees start shifting around, but isolating the twist. Let's think of using our obliques, the sides of your abs. Use those muscles to pull you around into your twist in a natural way. And one thing we want to be aware of too is we're not using the chair to pull us around into a deeper twist that we shouldn't really be trying to access. So we want to make sure the twist is here because we're naturally moving there and in a safe way. Good. On the next inhale, come back to your neutral place. Rest your hands on your thighs. Let's let the left ear travel toward the left shoulder. Stretching the neck gently. Relaxing your face. Still breathing deeply. On an inhale, bring the head back up. Exhale, go the other way with it. Again, relaxing the face. Trying not to hold tension at the jaw. Steady breathing. On an inhale, bring the head back up. And this time, let's tuck the chin toward the chest. Let's gently roll the left ear toward the left shoulder. Let's gently roll it back down. We'll go to the right side and we'll take it back down to neutral. We'll go back to the left side. Ease it down to neutral. And one more time to the right side. Easing it back down before we come back up to a neutral place. Awesome job. So if you want a little ab work today, make sure you're up on the chair that you can actually have some movement. Zip up your core again. And we're going to frame the face like so. So think of what's going on here already, and you can just stay here. We're opening across the heart. We're actively having this posture using the arms, the shoulder blades, the shoulders, and again, core, don't forget that. We can stay right here if we want to, or we can twist and have like a little ab crunch, bringing the knee toward the opposite elbow. Take it back to neutral. Let's go the other way. We twist, and then we have this crunch where we bring opposite knee and elbow together or towards each other. Let's go one way. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, twist. Inhale the neutral. Exhale, twist. We feel the core work when we bring the knee up. And we feel the core work when we twist. And we feel the core work when we have this little crunch. Our arms and shoulder blades are still working. Don't forget them. Let's see if we can have one more on each side. On an inhale, neutral. Exhale, rest. Awesome job. Let's come up to stand again. This time working on hip hinging. So we want to practice hip hinging because it's important in daily living. Whenever you bend over or go to pick something up, we want to make sure we're supporting the spine. So let's practice. Let's put hands on hips. Let's make sure feet are right under the hips, parallel to each other. Zip up your core, stand tall. And now we're going to just hip hinge a few times. So send your hips back, hinge from your spine, and you don't have to come down as far as I am at the moment. Maybe halfway is a good starting point. And then on the next inhale, we ease back up. So we're keeping knees as bent as we need to. Everybody's going to look a little different on this. Hinge from your hips, keep your knees bent, come down as far as you want to, just don't go upside down, and then inhale, come back up. All right, let's start to go with our breath now. Let's hinge, keep the knees as bent as you need to. Inhale, we rise, squeeze your core. Exhale, we hinge. And of course, I want you to start matching it up to your own breath and your own pace. We want to make sure we're breathing enough and not moving too fast because we don't want to get lightheaded. And when we come up, we want to feel work in the hamstrings, the glutes, the back. We're aware of our core, it's braced. We're aware of our spine, it's neutral. Let's have 2 more of these, practicing that hip hinge. One more time, just moving with your breath. We'll inhale, rise, and exhale, rest. Now adding to that a little bit, if you want to, with a pose in yoga we call airplane pose. We can take that hip hinge, and this time let's reach the arms back behind us, palms down. Now we can be parallel to the floor, like I am right now, or we can be up a little bit. It's totally up to you and what you're comfortable with. What we want to do is we want to start to really pull the shoulder blades together. We want to reach through the fingertips, and we feel those upper arms working when we do that. That's a good thing. Scoop your core in, keep your spine long, and keep your knees really bent. So find a place here in your airplane pose. Don't hold your breath. Make sure you're breathing enough. And on the next inhale, let's ease back up. Exhale, rest. Good. Grab your strap, or if you didn't have a strap, bathrobe strap, old tie, whatever you have today. Grab your strap, and we're going to stretch the chest a little bit. So we're going to hold it behind us like this. We're going to stand in that mountain pose with feet parallel right under the hips, standing tall, brace your core, pull it in, and then we pull the shoulders down and back. So trying really hard not to let them roll forward, but just pulling them down and back for good posture. From here, if we'd like to, we can lift up the strap. We find a place that feels comfortable. We don't want to force anything. We don't want to have pain in the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. We don't want to have pain in the low back. So make sure your spine is still neutral, aiming the tailbone down, bracing your core, and then we're just lifting to a place that feels nice. So what we'd like to feel is an opening across the heart and chest and front of the shoulders. And I'm a big fan of doing this stretch. I do it in every class that I teach because it's great for your posture. We spend so much time rounding through the spine that this is really nice to open up the opposite way. So let's have about one more full breath here at your own pace. And then gently releasing, and then releasing the strap. Keep it nearby. We'll use it again in a few minutes. And then come to the back of your chair. I'm going to turn mine so you can see better, but hopefully you don't have to move yours. Good. So come to the back of your chair where we're going to practice downward dog today. In our downward facing dog, let's grip the chair, brace your core, and we'll start to walk back. Let's think of kind of trying out that hip hinge again. We're trying to bend knees and lengthen the spine. And we come to a place where we're going to bend the knees more and lengthen the spine as much as we can. We want the spine to be long. We want this to feel good in the shoulders and the arms and the back. Knees can bend as much as you need them to. Steady breathing, lengthening the spine. Let's have about one more full breath here. And then to come up out of this, let's start to hinge up so we're not lightheaded. Let's inhale as we walk feet toward the chair once again. Keep breathing. When you get to your standing upright place, don't lock your knees. Have a breath. Relax. And then I'll move my chair back, but again, hopefully you don't have to do that. Good. So coming back to our chair, have a seat. What we're going to do, I think I need to scoot back so you can see me better. There we go. We're going to do a little bit of work for the quads. So let's come to the front of the chair again, seated tall, shoulders back, and just hands resting at the chair or wherever feels comfortable. So scoop that core in, breathe, and then let's lift the right foot. Squeeze that quad and then ease it down. And then let's lift the left foot, lengthen that leg, ease it down. Let's keep going with this. Let's flow. Maybe match it to your breath. Maybe we inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Let's think of keeping the spine as tall and upright as we can. So we're not doing anything that hurts. We're not locking out the knee when we lift. We're just lengthening the leg. Let's flex the ankle too. Strong leg. Doing great. Let's keep moving with our breath a few more times. Let's say one more time. Let's flow with the breath one more time per side. Good. And then let's lift that right leg up again. Let's hold it. Hold the pose, not the breath. Keep your breath going. And then here's the hard part. Let's see if we can transition straight to a stretch. Cross that ankle over the left knee. We're seated tall. We want to flex that ankle. Sit tall. Just let your hands relax wherever. We're getting a nice stretch through that hip. So as we sit tall, we're gently bracing the core, gently activating the back muscles, gently lifting through the crown of the head, and breathing. So coming back to that idea of matching the inhale to the exhale. We want to relax the face and the jaw and the throat. We hold a lot of tension there. And just breathe. Let's have one more full breath here. And then let's relax that foot down. Let's flow a little bit more. Let's lift that left leg and down. And alternating with our breath again. Make sure you're breathing deeply, moving at your own pace. Building a little strength in the legs today. Still seated tall. Okay, let's do one more per side. And this last left leg lift, let's hold it. Hold the pose, not the breath. Deep breathing. Challenging ourselves just a little bit with this, and then trying to take it directly to the stretch, crossing it over that right knee. So flex your left ankle. Sit tall. Again, let your hands relax wherever feels nice. Gently activate the core. Gently lengthen your spine. Maybe closing the eyes. Coming back to our deep breath. Maybe coming back to that intention today. Acknowledging all the good in your life. Maybe acknowledging the good in your day today. Let's have one more breath here in this hip stretch. And then exhale, let's release the stretch. So we're still planted at the chair. We're on the hip bones, we're seated tall. Let's bring our cow pose back. That's the one where we lift up through the heart. We have this nice back extension, and we can just stay right here if we want to. If we'd like to add to this just a little bit today, we'll ease out. We'll bring fists to the bottom of the spine. We want to just rest the fists right at that flat part of the spine. So not as far down as your tailbone, but not as far up as your lumbar, but that flat part in between the sacrum, just resting the fist there, then drawing shoulder blades together a little bit more, maybe bringing your elbows a little bit closer together. We feel all the work going on in the upper body. Scoop that core in too while you're at it. This is camel pose, seated camel pose. So on your next inhale from here, we can lift the heart, and we sort of have that same alignment that we had in seated cow. So we have a little bit of back extension. We're lifting the heart. Think of lifting your heart a little bit more on every inhale and trying to maintain that height on every exhale. Now let's pay attention to the neck. We don't want to strain it. So we can stay looking straight ahead if we want to, or we can look up. It's totally up to you. On the next exhale, let's start to ease back to neutral spine and ease your arms back to normal. Good job. Pause for a breath and relax. Nicely done. All right, so next we're going to grab the strap. Now, depending on what kind of chair you have, this is going to look a little different for everybody. I'm going to turn in mine just a little bit, but you stay squared on in your chair. And then we're going to loop the strap on the foot. So from here, maybe bringing your foot back behind you for a quad stretch. So if you're in a squared chair like most normal people have, we're just bringing that leg behind us like so. So all we're trying to do here is stretch the quad and the hip flexors perhaps. And we want to keep it gentle, nothing crazy, nothing painful. Sit up tall, and on an exhale, release. Okay, so we can just put the foot in front of us, step the other foot in the loop. Again, we're up far enough on the chair where we can have some range of motion and mobility, but we're not so far towards the end of the chair that we risk sliding off the chair by accident. So try not to do that. And then we just lift the foot up again. When you do that, the loop turns and now it's on the front of the foot, and we're just stretching through the quad and the hip flexor area. So the places we want to feel it are here and here. We're having a couple deep breaths. Thinking of aiming the knee down toward the floor. And then gently releasing this. Let's do the same thing with the strap. Let's step the right foot on it first. Get a nice grip on your strap, and we want the strap under the foot to be at the ball of the foot, not at the arch of the foot. Let's sit tall, and then let's gently lift that foot, stretching the hamstring. So we don't want to lock the knee. Be really mindful of that. We don't want to lock that lifted leg's knee. We're keeping it soft, and we're just trying to lift to a place where we can find a gentle hamstring stretch. So this is not necessarily the most relaxing version of a hamstring stretch because we're seated like this, but we can still get a lengthening in that area. So take it easy, be mindful. Let's have one more breath. And then ease down carefully. Step your other foot in the loop. And again, see if you can position it so it's at the ball of the foot, not at the arch. Find that nice tall posture again, and then lift the other leg. So again, still really aware that we're not locking the knee. It's a little bit soft always. Core, scoop it in. Spine is tall. Deep breathing. Relaxing the face. And on the next exhale, easing that foot down. Good. We can put the strap to the side. We're done with it. We come back to that neutral posture again. So if it's comfortable for you, let's cross the right leg over the left. And then hands at prayer pose at first. We're heading into a gentle twist. Let's bring the left arm across the body, resting. And then let's just gently twist, relax that right arm behind you. We're not pulling ourselves into a deeper twist with the right arm. We're just resting it. So we hope to feel a gentle stretch in the right hip and a nice twist in the spine. We can also do this with legs just at neutral without crossing the legs. We just won't get the hip stretch. So pick what you need to do. On an exhale, undo your twist and uncross your legs. Let's cross the left leg over the right this time. We'll bring the right arm across the body, just resting there. And then we'll inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. We're just going to let the left arm rest on the chair, wherever that is for you. So keep your spine tall. Enjoy the twist that you get to naturally, not by pulling yourself into it by using the chair. Keep your spine upright. Come back to your breath. Deep breathing. Matching the inhale to the exhale. On an inhale, let's find length again, and exhale, untwist, and then uncross your legs. Awesome. So if you need anything that we've just done in this whole sequence, if you need it one more time, like cat or cow or the neck stretch, it's your chance to choose what you'd like to do. I'm going to go through a couple cat and cows again, but if you'd rather do something else, that's fine. On an inhale, maybe lifting the heart for cow. Exhale, rounding into cat. One more time. Inhale, lifting for cow. Exhale, rounding into cat. We'll come back to an upright place. And guess what? We get to use the backrest now. So ease back to your chair, to the backrest, seated tall, finding a comfortable place, resting your hands on your thighs. Let's inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, relax and close your eyes. Let's practice that deep breathing a few more times. We want to let our neck and our throat relax. We want to let the jaw relax. We want to let the face relax. And even the forehead. Having that deep breathing just a couple more times. Coming back to that idea of acknowledging the good in your life. Maybe thinking of a couple things that you're grateful for today. Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. On the next exhale, relax. Bring your hands to prayer pose. So the rest of this day, you and I, let's try to do that. Acknowledge the abundance, all the good things, all the things we have to be grateful for in our day and in our lives. And the light and life in me honors the light and life in you. Namaste.